out of the loop for a few weeks.
I think we've all been out of the loop.
Is there anything going on?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have your Angler Games is gonna happen soon. Yeah, we're gonna bring that meme back. Angler Games.
Yeah, I mean, how many teams did we get signed up in the end, Soth? I think it was what
48.
Yeah.
Nice. You're gonna have all your fishing needs in the Angler Games.
Could you not come up with like some sort of new gimmick for this year,
No.
Dawn? I mean,
she could, but why would she?
No, it's called
reusing the old
throwbacks.
shtick is boring.
No,
It's
not
called
boring.
being unoriginal.
No, it's called being traditional.
Yeah.
No, I can see the stream.
We're all fine.
Yeah, you're on. Carnaros is asking questions. Yes, are the teams all full? Huh?
Yeah.
Live
What
fishing
species?
only.
What species are we fishing for, or does it matter? Pike? I saw someone using a duckling lure for pike. It looks like a little yellow duckling, and when you pull it, it scrambles across the water, and a pike just follows it like it would a baby duck.
Wow, that's
very impressive.
Eric, apparently you can't be heard on Twitch. Can the rest of us be heard on Twitch? Okay, no, we're all good. Just you.
As always.
God, that happens to me sometimes.
Oh, nothing of value was lost, Carnaros?
So answering the question of are the teams full, that's kind of up to the teams. We'll be asking for names for rosters and things in a few weeks' time, something like that, Soth.
But if you do want to join the team, just join our Discord. There's a channel there where you can advertise yourself, or where teams can advertise for people to join them. So if you want to find a team, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So there we go. We're all good. I think we're all good. We all good?
Carnaros still can't hear.
There we go.
Now you can see that.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yes.
I don't even know what I said, so it doesn't matter. Something about, Angler, Zepco Reels.
Yeah. You were waxing fishing.
Waxing about fishing. I hate fishing, by the way. It's not, I hate it.
I enjoy fishing.
Our host is not a fishing enthusiast.
I'm a fish enthusiast. I'm not a fishing enthusiast. Let's be clear.
That's what I said.
There's a distinction.
I probably have 3 or 4 fish tanks in this house that are in the basement in storage and hidden, not being used. Big ones.
So
big ones.
Lots of empty fish tanks in your house.
There are. I used to raise discus and that sort of stuff. I mean, not raise them. Well, they naturally did their thing. Yes,
I mean, they do get bigger as they go. Yeah. So
listen, fish love comes and goes. Sometimes you want to have a bunch of tanks. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to deal with it.
It's just changing the waters too much,
man.
Okay.
You don't don't worry about changing water. Just pour more water in.
No, that's bad.
That's how you overflow your fish tanks, Dawn. That's generally a bad idea, because then you've got to clean up.
That's why Dawn keeps her fish in the toilet.
Flush it right down whenever they die.
Oh God. I now picture like a giant, clear toilet that just is a fish tank, right? And
they have those.
They do.
And when they're dead, whoosh. You know what I like? What was it? Was it not Weird Science? What was the other one? Real Genius. Real Genius. When they fill the house with popcorn, right?
Yes.
You notice their water cooler in their dorm room? It's a goldfish tank, but yeah, it has water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So people are drinking fish water.
They weren't, I'm sure, but yeah. But that would be funny if you could have one of those, and it actually, when you do the water, even though it doesn't come from the fish tank, that it sends a big
It bubbles
bubble
up through the yeah. That'd be great.
Magic. Oh my god, it's terrible. Oh yeah. Now I have like a 50-gallon and like a 45-gallon or 60-gallon corner. They're big. They were big. Problem with the discus is you have to keep it a little bit acidic, right? The water. And soft. Soft and acidic. That's hard to do. But yeah, I thought about putting them back together and for a minute. My daughter would like to have a fish tank, but I'm sitting here, the way we've decorated the house, we have no room to put in one anywhere. I got no room.
Okay, does anybody else have any idea how we actually... Like, I went away for 3 weeks and you all got crazy and started talking about fish in the first 10 minutes.
Okay, here, Dirk. Let me put everything in context for you and return things to a paradigm you can understand. All right. So, Dawn, how do you feel about the MER?
No.
I didn't say you'd approve. I didn't say you'd approve. Just that you can understand it.
I think it was a good idea to get Dawn to start singing. Can we go back to that?
Karaoke for the next 10 minutes.
Yep.
Well, you know, we were having distinct conversation on pizza before all of you got here, Caleb and I. And I mentioned white pizza, and he's like, "What the fuck is white pizza?"
Yeah, that's my immediate reaction.
I was going to say...
It's not pizza. It's just Alfredo sauce on bread with cheese.
It's not Alfredo sauce. White pizza is not made with Alfredo sauce.
Look, there are different ways to make a white pie. For example, you can just make a pie without the sauce.
Pies and pizzas,
and that's still a white pie.
Things.
Why you gotta be white, yo?
So I will tell you what white pizza means.
Genetics.
Here, all right?
Sorry.
It is a wonderful, flavorful, very garlicky, because it's got like little chunks of minced garlic all through it. Olive oil, butter, and garlic, basically, and a little salt, little pepper. And that's your sauce. And then you put your cheese on it. Growing up in a pizza shop, I like a combination of mozzarella as probably a 50% base, and then a Romano and a provolone.
Yeah, that's good.
Combination, right? Okay. Boom, that's great. And then whatever toppings you, and then the white pizza is then there's sliced tomatoes, sliced thin, put on top, and you cook, and that's a white pizza. But I like to add green olives because number one, the smell of a white pizza with green olives, cooking all that garlic and olive oil and butter and the olives, it's amazing and it tastes so good.
I generally prefer black olives, but with the olive oil, the green olives sound like they'd be better there.
Green olives on the white pizza. It's the vinegar that you get mixed with everything else. Just phenomenal, folks. It smells so good cooking. But on a regular red sauce pizza, no green olives. You got to go black.
I've got to say, my preferred sauce is like a semi-sweet barbecue sauce.
Semi-sweet barbecue sauce. Are you making barbecue, like some smoked meats that you might dip that in, or are you making pizza? What's going on?
But aren't we being a little bit liberal with the whole term pizza?
Yeah. Instead of like a tomato sauce or I suppose most barbecue sauces are still tomato based, but yeah.
Really? Are they? Scythe is going to come back on. They're mustard based in the South.
That's because the South is wrong.
No, I love mustard. I love all barbecue sauces. Okay, let's put it that way.
I like them.
I love the mustard. I love the Texas. I love the Texas. I love the Kansas City area. I love the Southern East Coast. It's all wonderful. It's barbecue sauce and smoked meats. Okay, it's amazing.
I like sweet and thick.
So what about?
All right.
I mean,
Caleb, don't act like you could fit.
Hold on. It's like what were those two guys on MTV?
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, she said.
Wow. What
Eric
is it about
said-
this week that makes it nostalgia week? Do we
She
just
said-
have to go back to the 90s?
Yeah.
I mean, Eric said he wants to go black.
Well-
I mean,
Eric cited Real Genius. That's the 80s.
Yeah, I'm an 80s.
Late 80s, right?
anyway, chicken curry on pizza.
Yeah, no.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
said curry.
I could
Yeah,
give
you
that a
can do
shot.
that.
That sounds like it would be definitely worth trying.
The
And
no,
Caleb,
So if you use a
No.
red sauce, here's the big question: if you use a red sauce, do you prefer it to be sweet or spicy, tangy?
Why not both?
Oh, on pizza?
Yeah,
So-
you,
so
you like
the
a
thing
is-
savory,
it
savory spicy
it
sauce
depends-
or a sweet
If you're
depends on
talking
the,
about a tomato-based
tomato
sauce,
based? Yes,
then-
tomato based.
then you have to put some sugar in it.
no.
No,
Ugh, no.
that would be a
Ignore
sweet
that.
sauce. But that'd be a sweet sauce. But yeah,
I like sweet sauces.
I'm not saying a ton of sugar, just a bit.
a
No.
little nutmeg.
Okay, so it depends on the topping because if you have a savory topping like sausage or pepperoni or something, having some spice in there can really add to the flavor profile that you've got.
Yes, but,
But
also
others,
having
other
a
ones
bit of
might be-
sweetness in there also
yeah, I love-
enhances
Hey,
the
you want some
flavor.
sweetness? You put
I
the
like
pineapple on top, motherfucker. Okay.
I mean, that goes really well with the curry chicken, just saying.
It's the Hawaiian pizza, the original Hawaiian, not the shit that they call it now, right? I mean, it's the pineapple chunks, it's the
Before-
bacon, and it's the ham, baby.
Before we go too deep down the pineapple rabbit hole, Caleb, no, you're wrong.
With what?
Real Genius is 1985, mid 80s.
Wow. Damn, I think I'm getting old.
I know because like I was in high school.
So not late 80s.
Shit. Can't believe that it's that long ago, really.
Yeah, imagine
Sorry.
that. Imagine that. That's By the way, I am using my Hilton Head Beach Blonde beer mug that I get one of these every year when I go to Hilton. I have a lot of them.
Oh,
It,
By the
it
way,
came
Eric,
out the
if-
year after the other great Val Kilmer vehicle of the 80s, Top Secret.
oh.
I
We
don't
gotta
think I've
mention-
ever seen that.
You've
Oh my
never? Oh my
God.
god!
I'm gonna watch it now.
It is. You have
I'm
to
gonna watch it.
You have to. It is hilarious.
I'm
We've
gonna
got
watch
to
it.
talk about Vegas coming up.
We will.
Things have been
We will.
announced.
We will.
It is literally the most slapstick 80s ever made. It's
Oh my god!
it's worse
you'll love
than
it, Eric.
any of the other
You'll
ones,
love it.
Airplane and all that stuff. This one is like the king.
It's the Zucker brothers. You'll love it.
Okay, I'm in. We'll be watching it. I love it. That's the greatest thing about streaming. You can pretty much get anything, anytime, if you want.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the idea.
I know. We've watched "Marry Me" 3 times in this house already. It just came out. The reason
But
we
you
watched
still
it 3
haven't?
times. Well, the problem is like, me and my one son started watching it, and then my other son started watching it, and then my wife started watching it, and then they were all at different places in the movie, so we had to rewatch parts depending on who was in the room to get everybody to the same spot. We got through it. It's actually pretty good, guys. My
Well,
my
that's
kids
funny.
were laughing, like really laughing at it. It's it's a rom-com, right? J-Lo, and it's pretty good.
Which one is this?
Marry Me. It's in the theaters and it's on Peacock. And you have to buy Peacock to get it. But it's free if you have Peacock.
Dragon, shit.
Dragon.
Well, I'm still playing Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
Well, technically it's a worm, but dragon.
No, it's a VOM.
It's spitting fire in its wings. It's a dragon.
Then why did they call it a worm if it's got wings?
Well, no,
Because
no.
dragons are often referred to.
Rip me.
They're
Rip-
worms,
he's
I
dead.
don't think-
God rest
I'm
his
dead.
soul.
Legs.
Everybody says short prayer for Soth's
Worms
character.
don't have
He's
legs.
Good fight.
dead. There you
Oh,
go.
they don't have
Yeah.
wings.
Good job.
Hey, I lost
Well,
it longer than
no,
I
that's a-
expected.
That's a drake. Drakes don't have wings.
No. No.
All right, I'm going downstairs and pulling out the monster manual. We'll settle this once and for all.
Are you assuming that Arendis does not know
you
the
assuming I don't
entire
have the
Monsters
Monster
Manual
Manual?
by heart?
Do you have it open right now?
I have it right next to me. I could pull it out.
There you go.
Oh god, are we all going to be comparing
Because the
monster manuals now?
dragons have wings and 4 legs, and then worms just have wings and 2 legs, and then drakes have no legs.
So, Sloth, did it have 4 legs or 2?
Okay, this has 2 legs, 2 arms.
Well, you know.
Wings and
2
Spitfire.
wings. And Spitfire.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
So it's not a worm.
What?
But by the way, guys, I'm officially old. I actually ordered my first prescription reading glasses. They're actually tuned to each eye.
You're gonna love yourself because being able to see is so nice.
Yeah, I'm not that bad, but it seems a lot worse. Like if I go like this and I look above my glasses at the screen, which is about a foot away from me, I can see Theta Thursday there in the meta show and all these things in INN, but I only know that because I know they're there, right? It's really blurry. And I have to pull this up, but only this prescription is a +3 and only one eye is +3, so it's kind of wonky. So.
But Eric's got a wife. He doesn't need arms or glasses or anything like that.
She is pretty amazing. I will say that. My kids are pretty amazing too if I need them to read small print. But they're all more blind than me, by the way.
Yeah, but they already have glasses.
They do, but they all have and it's all different. Some of them are close and some of them are far away. Like my daughter can't see far away, so she's got her glasses, for movies. She can read just fine. She doesn't need them. So, I don't know. It wasn't until a couple months ago that my eyes went crazy. And I did get ones with anti-glare, so hopefully all the whole screen glare bullshit won't be going on during the show. So we'll see. We will see. So what else is shaking out there in Eveland? Are we beyond our 20 minutes?
Well,
nope,
we got-
sorry, not beyond 20 minutes. Sorry.
We're 2 minutes away.
Well, we got Vegas we could talk about. That's not Eve.
Yes, area. It is called getting old. I'm very old. By the way, we're we're watching Marry Me and we're like J-Lo and I are about the same age. Difference is she looks like she's 35. Yeah, mine happened a couple months after I had COVID too, so who knows? Get my booster shot next week.
Huh, I got mine already.
Yeah, but
Twice.
I had those monoclonal antibodies, so I had to wait an additional 90 days.
All right. Yeah, I got the Johnson & Johnson first. So they were like, oh yeah, you just need 1 more for the booster. So I got that. And then 2 days later, German government was like, oh no, you actually need 2 shots to count as booster if you got Johnson & Johnson. So
Is this where
I got and got the second shot, and then they were like, oh no, actually, never mind. 1 is going to be enough.
I was waiting for Eric to explain the difference between polyclonal and monoclonal antibodies.
No, I wouldn't go there. I just know they shot that stuff in my body and I'm good. I did not get spidey sense or able to climb up walls, so that kind of annoys me a little bit.
No.
I wanted to develop some sort of superhero thing. Maybe I need to condition myself to an extremely high stress moment in my life.
No, you have to wait. You have to wait because there is no mutants until this summer, as far as I know. Right, Arendis?
Look, Eric, the problem is that it's not yet dramatically appropriate for it to kick in.
Exactly. It needs to kick in by summer after we've gotten Doctor Strange #2.
I understand now. Okay. Well, yep. I'm primed, I'm prepped, I'm ready. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. You will have a psychic imprint when it kicks off, and you will see a little bald man in a wheelchair.
There there were.
That
so
sounds a
many
lot
ways.
like Picard.
We could go so many ways
Really,
with the bald
I
man
really
in the
would have
wheelchair
preferred.
thing, but
I really would have preferred they'd gone with McAvoy for that.
hey, you sound like
Not
you're
that-
on the radio from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, around this.
Not that I don't like, Patrick Stewart, but I mean, at this point, introducing him to the MCU with Patrick Stewart is basically like saying, we figure we've got you for maybe 3 movies and then you're dead.
I just want to bring in.
I don't think that's why they're doing it. I think it's pretty much to hit the same nostalgia like farewell to some of the old actors, right? I think it's like the last hurrah.
Maybe, but we'll have to see how they do it.
Well, it feels like that, at least to me, because he doesn't want to do more proper films as far as I've heard. So getting him to do this almost like a cameo, just like a last farewell, I think that's actually very fitting. I think that's very much like the other ones, like farewell to the other Spider-Man, like the farewell to Wolverine. We need to restart all of it, and I think that's why they chose him instead.
I just want to bring Anna Paquin back. Okay?
What? Oh, yeah.
But we already had our farewell in Logan, so do we actually need this?
Yeah, but Logan is a bit outside of normal, right? I always see that as a what if story or an alternate universe story. It's a bit too different and too dark to really be what I would call
Too
proper
dark?
X-Men.
No, it was perfect.
Well, but it's good, but it's just a little bit outside of the normal mutant universe. It's apocalyptic in nature. It's the same as what's that one where is it where he runs around with a patch and shit? That whole phase. That's like, no, that's not Wolverine.
What?
When he's the patch thing where he's
Patch
What are you
thing.
talking about?
Wolverine.
What patch thing?
When he's all dressed in black and silly looking, and it looks like he's doing some sort of spy novel.
Oh, that one. Oh fuck. Now you're asking. Where he goes to Japan or some shit.
No, that's not Japan.
That movie was weird though. But it's
I
past
mean-
20 now. We can talk about Eve now. Huh? Huh?
It's literally called Wolverine Patch. So I'm not an idiot here. Hello, thank you very much.
Fuck.
It's when he goes all fucking James Bond spy stuff. It's really weird and dumb, and I didn't like it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's not a film. That's just like the comic book.
Yes, of course. We were
You're
talking-
gonna change which medium you're talking about. You should tell us. You
What?
gotta figure out which fucking movie he had a patch in.
I'm not talking about the movies. I'm
I
talking
mean-
about
I mean,
Wolverine
you
the
didn't
character
say that.
and
All
his
of us.
universe.
No, Caleb, all of us were
Wow.
thinking you were talking about a movie.
Seriously.
I'm just saying to the audience that yes, you're correct. I've lost control. It's okay.
He never
Yeah,
had
go.
Hold on. You
control.
can't have lost control. That implies you had control.
Yeah, you never had control, Eric.
Well, that's the beauty
So-
of this show.
So, Eve Vegas or Eve?
Ooh, let's go eat Vegas. I think.
Okay. Dates are October 20th through the 23rd. The central area will be Planet Hollywood and the surrounding hotels. You are encouraged to stay as close as possible because traveling in Vegas is never as close as it looks on the map. Everything takes 10 minutes longer. I'm hoping we can do another pool day because that seems to be my favorite thing to do in Vegas is just go to the pool and drink margaritas for the afternoon.
So Planet Hollywood. So let's get there. Where the hell? Okay, so that's there. We got lots of Planet Hollywood stuff. I am either gonna stay at the Cosmo, which is my favorite place, or Marriott's Grand Chateau. Now, if we stay at the Grand Chateau and we get a bunch of people, they have like giant suite rooms where you can. That's
If
pretty much
you
all they
can-
have, and they're awesome.
if-
They're super nice, and it's right
If
across the
you
street.
can, if you can get a deal where it's cheaper than what we've already got, I'm sure my mom and I would go in on with you.
Yeah, they have
That's
like they do like triple rooms, right? So there's like one room with 2 bedrooms and a kitchen, and then attached to that through another locked door is a
Mhm.
single room with its own kitchen again and everything duplicated. They do like triple rooms. I'll have to see.
Yeah.
But
So-
I do Marriott because I like my Marriott status. I like anything I can do to jack that sucker up. Plus, it is literally across the street, and it's really not far from the core of Planet Hollywood. But I don't know
And then-
where the where's the Heart Bar at in Planet Hollywood.
It's
I've
in
not
the
been.
center. So the casino part's in the front. Planet Hollywood doesn't actually have a giant casino section, but the casino's in the front and the Heart Bar's at the back of the casino section. So when you're coming off the street, you'll go to the left and there's the casino. And then you just kind of walk to the back center and you'll see a giant heart back there. It is not a good bar. It's also really fucking loud in there. So
Why isn't it a good bar? Because everybody else seems to like it.
because it has
Mr. Goodbar.
I mean, it's a fine, but it's got these big rectangular sitting areas, but and so like that's nice. But as I said, it's really loud. It's impossible to hear each other, so it's not good music. But it'll work for
So-
gathering.
Yeah, so I see the Foot Locker, Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas Resort and Casino. I see the Zappos Theater, the Shoe Palace, Gordon Ramsay Burger, which is excellent. I ate there last
PF Chang's is in there too.
Yeah, I actually like PF Chang. That's at the front though.
Yeah, that's at the front of the casino.
Oh, there's the Heart Bar. I see it on the map now. Okay. So Heart Bar versus there versus the Cosmo looks like it's closer than the Grand Chateau. To the Heart Bar. Mm-hmm. They have a giant swimming area that I think you can. Where the hell is that? I know the pool at the top of the Grand Chateau is very cool, and obviously the pools at the Cosmo.
I've never been to the pool of the Cosmo.
They're very cool. Bartenders, as always, super cool at the bar at the one pool. They have 3 pools on 3 different levels.
Oh,
And
do you
so
have to pay to get in on that if you're not a guest?
I don't know what the rules are, but how do they know you're not a guest if somebody's staying there? Like if I stayed there, how would they know you're not staying with me?
Very true. I just want to enjoy sitting up top at the pool for hours,
Oh yeah. They have
getting
like,
appetizers, drinking margaritas.
they have a pool that like has a shallow section that you can not just like be sitting or laying in.
Mm-hmm.
Then of course they've got little beds and everything that you can rent, right? Day beds and all that bullshit. Or you can just be in the lounge chairs right next to the bar. I mean, literally, you get up from a lounge chair, turn around. Oh, look, the bar.
Yeah.
They actually, the one bartender said, "I'm gonna make you a picture of this stuff, and your wife is gonna love it." And we know how to make it. I think we have the recipe somewhere. He wrote it down for us. But my wife went through pictures of this like you could not believe. She loved it. So yeah. So I've had great experience at the Cosmo. Of course, we had the Flamingo where we rented the cabana.
We did have a really hot waitress at the Flamingo.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. Eric set that all up. Okay, she got deal of the century on the cabana. Okay, and then we got
Only $2,000.
In the end, it was probably more than that.
Probably. It was like $300 for a bottle of Grey Goose. I'm like, I could go to the store and buy this. For
But bottle service, no, it was on deal. It was deal. It wasn't $300.
On deal. 300. Yes, it was $300. It's normally $500, and the deal was $300.
Wait,
I think
for
the
a
deal.
bottle of Grey Goose.
I think
With
it was
4
down.
chasers.
I
Yeah.
think it was. I think it was 150.
And a lackey to bring it to you. It's like I could literally just go to the store.
Yeah, but you
The
can't bring it
ABC
into the
store right
pool.
there.
It's the bottle service. It's just
They never checked my bags, remember?
I know they never.
I
checked
just
Mrs.
walked
Erickson.
in.
But
They didn't check anything. I just walked right in. They're like,
Okay.
yeah, they're over there.
number one, yeah, I think it was. No, I think they were really on deal. They were like 150
No,
or
they
90
weren't.
or something. They were.
I can promise you they were not.
Do you have a
'Cause
copy
they
of the
said-
bill? I
they
probably
said-
have a copy of the bill somewhere. I'm just saying.
When I asked the lady, I said, hey, how much is another bottle? She's like, let me ask my manager. And she's like, okay, well, we can do the same deal we did for you before, so we can keep it at the $300 price.
Nah, it wasn't
And I was like,
$300 a bottle. It was not.
Sure
It
was.
absolutely.
It
We had
sure
like
fucking
5,
was.
6 bottles.
I
of
know.
that
I
shit.
couldn't believe you guys ordered that many.
Well, you know,
That's why I got us a $50 pitcher of margaritas, just so that way, like,
so
you know, it would go wild.
So Total Newbie, DeMorg, and we were splitting the bill too, so it wasn't that terrible. And the cabana cost like $60 for the day. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I
Really?
mean, bottle service is bottle service, right? I mean, I'm used to bottle service being much more.
And then someone got us a whole appetizer tray.
Yeah, we just
while we were
all
there.
that just went on the bill, man.
That was great.
It was. We had a good time. People stopped by, which is, I mean, that's what it's about. You know?
The pool was freezing.
It was, except for the Canadians. They thought it was kind of nice. But yeah, that was the nice thing because they really tracked nothing, right? I mean, anybody could come in from anywhere.
Yeah, they didn't care.
We loaded
The
that.
pool was slow.
We loaded that villa up. That was awesome. That was much
Yeah,
fun.
we should try and do that again.
Yeah, we got to do something like that again.
All right, so Eve, anything new? Anything changing?
I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah, you tell us.
I don't play Eve as much right now because it's boring. Like, yay, they're adding all this stuff to mining, and I'm very happy about it, but what is there to mine other than moons? And moons aren't available all the time. So, like, I just play on the weekends.
I don't know, but you pretty much seem to have gone from 2 billion in moon ore in December to 5 in January. So there's got to be some moons there that you're mining.
And that's
Yeah.
M3 as well. We've got to remember that.
Yeah. Literally, I'm the best around. Best miner in the fucking game. Move out, high sec. Get out the fucking way. When people want to doubt me, I literally have paperwork saying, no, I am the best. I know how to mine rocks. You guys clearly don't.
Mine rocks.
Oh my god. Listening to all these people early, a month or two ago, bragging about, oh, well, our group does this, and this is how efficient we are. Blah, 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 blah. Suck a fat one.
Okay.
I have paperwork showing that I'm better than you.
Now, Fleablock just mentioned something about faction warfare, which I'm not sure if we made faction warfare a banned topic on the show at some point, but I think faction warfare should, I mean, fuck it, just make it like nullsec, man. Let us take over high sec. Let's take it over.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get past the second line of Fleablock's comment there because he said faction warfare would be better if it was a bit more like Pochvan, Pochvan, or however the fuck you want to say that.
Pochvan.
And like the moment you mention Pochvan to me, just like no. There's nothing that you could do making faction warfare more like Pochvan that would improve faction.
I think you should just let it be like nullsec and let us take it over. Just faction warfare against the faction, and we win, and it's Goon Swarm area.
Yeah, because what we really need is more of Eve being all the same all over, right?
Yes, absolutely. What's faction warfare? Stupid.
Let's limit more play styles.
I think we
thought
should.
homogenization is the latest rage.
It really should be only the play styles that I like. Okay.
You working for CCP these days, Eric?
No, I'm just meaning that I like all play styles that CCP doesn't. So, Blackout and faction war. Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome.
You know what? Yeah. You know what they should do is they should make it like wormhole mechanics. You can't even jump anywhere.
I think they should they should do blackout and high sec.
Dear Lord.
Just
Yeah,
black
who
it all
needs to know
out.
who's in high sec? You're in high security. Why do you need to know?
Yeah, you don't need local comps. CCP is making faction warfare better by making everything else bad. No, they're just bad.
Well, no, that's one way to,
I mean,
to think about it. You know,
in relation,
a
yeah.
retreating tide sinks all boats, after all.
Yes, all boats, not all boats, but faction warfare.
Well, yeah, but if faction warfare's already sunk, you're just kind of leveling the playing field around us.
Uh-huh.
Hey, don't lump us in there.
Hey, what happened in January that more people started logging in? And then
Doctor Who.
it's the Doctor Whovians. Okay.
I don't believe that for a fucking second either.
That was stupid. It looks like another nosedive right after January 16th.
Well, that was when the event started, so it's not exactly great.
I mean, it was a very successful event, okay, and CCP are very happy with it.
I think a lot of people enjoyed
Soft.
the actual event. I think there was nothing wrong with the actual mechanics of the event. Most people seemed to, except for when it wasn't working the first day or two.
There's
But
nothing wrong with the mechanics of the event, except the fact that it was broken.
you know, details. We expect that.
Soth, get
But
up.
I think most people enjoyed
Get
it overall when they did it.
Do I need to make my sarcasm even more apparent?
Hi, Keish.
It's all fun, baby. It's all fun.
But I am excited for compression to finally come in, and it sounds good, and we're all like planning on it, but it needs to come now. Like, let's go.
What does Keish mean by we all have phones?
Oh,
Don't
he's
you
just
guys
making
have
fun of like.
phones?
I thought
Don't
maybe
you guys like Doctor Who?
I did get 20 phones delivered today, though.
I get you, Keish. I don't think CCP is on Blizzard level yet, but they're definitely heading there.
And then we need what else do they need to do to battleships to make them more viable? Because like they're definitely trying to make them better.
I believe
You need to be able to
should-
get places.
But
Yeah.
jump bridges are too strong, horrendous. It's so bullshit. People could just move through the
Ooh.
space that they've owned for a month
I mean,
so quickly.
at this point, just like add back in the scram restriction to taking jump bridges. What a, hey, you've actually got an element of risk to taking a jump bridge now. There's a
I support that
that
because I mean that would mean you have some counterplay there.
yeah.
Wait,
That
what are
would
you
be
supporting
fun.
now, Soth?
That you can be scrammed on a jump bridge.
Reintroduce the old jump bridge mechanic of if you're scrammed on a jump bridge, you can't take it.
Or pointed,
Sure,
actually.
but do that for a gate too.
I think add it back to the jump bridges to begin with, and then maybe think about the gates. Like create some differentiation between the infrastructure that players build and the infrastructure that is pre-existing.
Why?
For the sake of flavor, variety,
Or make that a feature.
dishomogenization.
Make that a feature of heavy scrams.
There
Yeah.
you go. I like that one.
See, like different little bits, just small
Hey,
mechanics.
Canaris, are you taking notes?
But yeah, the question, Keish, is how do we make battleships good again? But I think the only answer we've got so far is make them be able to get places.
That's what keeps them from being good right now. They take forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, I can't.
Even the cat agrees with me.
Well,
Oh,
that cat
sorry.
doesn't agree with much, so yeah.
She's very horny right now, so sorry.
I'm sorry.
When is she
this
not?
This is a family show. We're not talking about horny cats. Can't you get her a boyfriend?
I do have a boy cat. He knows how to do it too. They figured that part out.
That means he's already ahead of 50% of the Eve players.
Yep.
Oh.
But he's
So
fixed, so
he's fixed. Well, that's your problem.
I found you food.
I mean, if the girl cat is horny and the boy cat isn't
Oh,
taking
shoot,
care of
the
business,
food.
I mean, there's something wrong at your house. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't do anything if she doesn't get pregnant, she just stays horny for
He's shooting
weeks.
blanks, Eric's.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's not that Yeah, let's just leave it there.
I get it.
That flea block, the whoever is responsible would be Sothersil, just a little bit further down. He's the one that you want to blame for anything Anger Games related.
We have an anger game.
Yeah,
From?
yeah. Actually, didn't I get you on board so I can blame you for everything?
Yeah, but no, everyone blames you, and then you pass the blame on to me. They start off
okay.
blaming you.
Okay. I can live with that.
So yeah, any blame for anything is Sothersil's fault. But yes, you're welcome. We are looking forward to bringing it back. Another year. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
What's our
I
dates?
didn't tell Dirk yet that we have to deal with a few things after the show, but now he knows.
I swear to God, if he's gonna try and make another format change, I'm gonna beat him.
No. It's nothing dramatic. I just need your wordsmithing.
Okay. Hey, can I sidetrack us a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So I might be on Indeed looking at applicants, okay, because I'm multitasking, right? And this and everybody puts, what's your previous job, right? Okay. This one guy
You
put
put drug trafficker?
no. It's a little more bizarre than that. Testified at the district magistrate.
What?
I mean, that's some sort of experience.
Okay.
I mean, most people like home health aide, security guard, cook, right? Real estate agent, DoorDash driver, packer shipper, or lifter and Uber driver, right? That's like some of the others, right? This guy testified at the district magistrate. I mean, true story. Can't make this shit up. It's amazing.
So, the guy asking about Thunderdome. So the thing is, that the battleship changes hit Sissy pretty much right after registration opened. So, that means we kind of want that patch on Thunderdome, right? And it's kind of being a bit of a diva. So, CCP Aurora, who's patching Thunderdome, had some issues with it. That's why it's being delayed a bit. But we'll get there.
Right, so where were we at before that bit of commentary?
I think
Eric
we were
was talking
looking.
about something.
I was talking about somebody put it. And then the other thing that I like is, when hey, how to contact us and, apply for the job, you say, hey, text this code to this number. And they just respond in Indeed with the code. Like that's going to text somebody. That's little ways to weed people out. It's crazy. All right. I don't know what else we got. What else we got going on, man? Nothing.
I mean, if I look at r/eve for a conversation topic, am I going to regret it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
I
still
doubt
playing
it.
Vegas, but okay.
Let's take that middle clause out of there and notice that it doesn't change anything. If you look at r/eve, are you going to regret it? Yes.
Fair
Yes,
point.
you will.
There was there's the Horde updates that we can talk about.
Okay, let's do that.
What?
I'll link the Reddit thread in Twitch chat for people. But yeah,
I have not read this. What is it?
Horde have decided that it is officially peacetime again,
Whoa!
and so they're going to change their stagings around and things.
Whoa! Whoa!
Do they
Whoa.
get to do that and just be like, we're not at war anymore? I don't care if these people are shooting us.
I mean, it's Eve. Everyone's always shooting at you.
It's true. Very true.
It's just a question of
They're not
whether
shooting
or
at me.
It's just
So,
when was the last time you logged in, Orendus?
So
Yesterday.
Fair.
just mentioned T3 battleships, and I had this idea the other day, or like 2 weeks ago, about a new weapon system for battleships only.
Okay.
Something like
the instant delete us?
no,
Okay.
no. It's not
No
instant delete us.
T3 battleships. Jesus fucking Christ. CCP can't balance the ship classes they've already got. Can we not try throwing more freaking dominoes into the mix? It's just ridiculous.
But look
Okay,
at all the
but
colors.
hear me out. Hear me out. A new weapon system for battleships only. Flak cannons.
I
That would
actually
be
think this would be
cool.
hilarious.
Right? And the thing is, when was the last change? When was the last thing they added into the game where we thought, yeah, that's actually cool. I want to try that out.
I think it'd be funny. Funny as fuck. I don't think it would go very well in terms of balance or the way the mechanics worked.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
kind of
it'd be
excited.
hilarious.
I'm kind of excited that they want to try and make battleships an actual bridge between subcaps and dreadnoughts, but I'm kind of wondering what that means.
I don't
I
think
mean,
they
they're
know themselves
realizing that
what
they
it
completely
needs.
fucked up when they tried to balance dreadnoughts.
Yeah, I don't think they have kind of figured that out themselves yet. It sounds cool, and they're just kind of winging it.
See, Vault is putting something out there. Flak cannons could be used against fighters, so you would have actual counterplay to supers.
Ooh, that's an interesting option.
You already have counterplay to supers. More supers. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
then-
so how would your flak cannons operate?
I
How
don't
do they
know.
work?
I'm not a game designer.
Okay.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
Because
out
I'm
there,
just
okay?
trying to see what separates them from, say, smart bombs.
No. Flak cannons would be remote, right? I was
Well,
thinking.
then they're not a battleship weapon system. They're like a drone. They're like sentry drones.
No. Well, they are cannons.
Oh, they're cannons. That's totally different from a drone, except it's remote.
Yeah, you shoot them and they explode at a certain range.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's literally just flinging pieces of explosive metal into space, and
So it's a smart bomb projector.
Yes.
ish, yeah.
Yeah.
That can't be unbalanced at all.
No, not at all. What are you
But they
talking
hit
about?
Munins.
Well, if you shoot them right,
If
I
you
guess.
have your entire battleship fleet Q targeting on the fucking flag cruiser that's anchoring all the Munins, yes, they'll hit all the Munins.
Could you imagine if they actually were heat seeking, where they just kept going
But-
till they hit?
You could have
Then they'd be
manual
missiles.
targeting, like
yeah,
you
No,
do
but I
with
mean that
fighters.
there's no, but I
No.
mean there's no
Oh,
range.
so
They just
it
keep
sort
going.
of goes back to the old torpedo then.
Yeah.
What is old is new again?
What is dead may never die.
Yeah, Zonk in Twitch chat has the right idea. Mines.
Hey Don, I was doing a little research.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
So
That's never good.
if you divide a 3-bedroom Marriott unit, everybody gets their own bathroom too, by the way, and there are 2 king beds and 1 bedroom with 2 queens. It's $190 a night
Per person or per room?
per room if you divide it by 3.
Oh, that's really good.
That's
Send me that, 'cause
prepay. That's prepay. I think it's $224 if you choose pay when you get
Yeah,
there.
I mean, that's fine because like I think ours is coming out to like. Let me see what my mom wrote. Hold on, I'll look at it here.
By the way, folks, that's the Grand Chateau Marriott.
It's $435 each, so like $200. So, oh, that's right across the street.
Yeah, this is right
send
across
that
the
to
street.
me. I just don't want to get stuck with it if you guys like have to cancel last minute. That's the only thing I'd
Well,
be
that's what you
worried
do.
about,
I mean,
'cause
if you do the
I
other,
know your schedule changes.
yeah, you do the other mode. It's like $220, so it's $30 more a night. But yeah, I mean that's an option. And by the way, you get 2 kitchens, two like dinner tables, and all the normal coffee makers and everything. You bake a freaking cake there. You got a blender and all kinds of shit. But yeah, so everybody, it's cool if you get a lot of people that can like hang out and you sit around the table and drink, right? Because one table is an 8-person table. Then you got a sofa, big screen TV. You get lots of shit.
Well, we need a third group,
So
right?
Eric's talking about lots of people sitting around the table drinking in a blender, so he wants margaritas.
Oh yeah,
or daiquiris, or daiquiris.
Daiquiri break.
I love rum.
Let's be honest, Eric wants.
Oh, by the way, the last time we were there and we stayed at the Grand Chateau, this was 2 Vegases ago, right? We had groceries delivered from the grocery store, and all our alcohol was delivered with those groceries. But we went out to. But wait a minute, we went out to dinner, right? And they were going to be delivered, and the staff at the hotel brought them up to our room, and the stuff that needed to be refrigerated, they stuck in the refrigerator. It's like you have 2 refrigerators, right? You have 2 refrigerators, 2 everything in a 3-bedroom.
Well,
yeah,
if you can find
nice.
if you can find a third group, I'm sure I could convince my mom and I to do it.
Yeah, we should see. It's on the table. It's not going to change. So for those people who've been like in a Marriott Vacation Club place, that's what the Chateau is. But it tends to rent out a lot of its rooms by the night. I can also go on Red Week and see if they've got weeks, but we're going to split a weekend.
Because we already put like I think the deposit down, but we have 48 hours to cancel with no penalty. So
yeah, we'll probably never set this together in 48 hours.
Well, we put it in yesterday, I think, so that's why I've got to today
24.
Or tomorrow. Yeah. So it's like if we can find a third person, advertisement here. If you're not a bad roommate.
But yeah, no, it's
Is it the 3-bedroom villa?
Yes. Just go to Marriott's site and do Marriott's Grand Chateau and pick 3-bedroom. So actually, it has the full rate for all nights with all the taxes too. So let me add all the taxes in. Make sure.
That always weirds me out.
Yeah, check the resort fees and shit too.
What?
I don't think there's a resort fee.
Every hotel in Vegas has a resort fee for the pool and the parking.
I understand why Americans do it that way because taxes are different in every state, kind of.
Yeah,
but it still weirds me out.
That's not why they do it that way.
So for 4 nights,
it's really simple, Soft. They do it that way so they can put smaller numbers on the page.
Yeah. So for 4 nights, if you divided the 3-bedroom room by 3, it's $865, $47 each. It's $306 in taxes, room taxes. But
that sounds pretty reasonable.
Marriott Vacation Clubs don't have resort fees generally. In fact, parking is free there as well, by the way.
Those bastards.
I know those assholes. You get free parking at a hotel right in downtown Vegas.
Well, it's free for guests.
Yeah, complimentary. It's complimentary valet parking. Because last time we went there,
Those bastards.
yeah, and I think there's a nice pool at this place.
They're just trying to get their hands on your car.
That's true.
Well, because
Well,
right
we
now
went
we just
there.
have a king.
I've seen how
bed,
valets treat
like,
cars in
studio.
every movie ever.
I know, especially Ferris Bueller. They have the Sky Bar, which is the rooftop
Or
bar.
Shang-Chi.
They got a fitness center. Looks beautiful. And they've got the outdoor spa and fifth floor outdoor pool. And the towels are provided and it is heated. The pool is heated. Oh, we'd definitely be swimming. Oh, they have a 38th floor bar pool as well. It is also heated. You don't bring your towels. You just go up there and they have towels there for you.
I just want to point out that Keish is in love with my flak idea. Also, obviously, Minmatar wouldn't have flak. They would have Flarak. Obviously.
By the way, we're those weird people who bring our own Marriott keys with us. It's bizarre. Marriott has little wristbands that you can wear at any resort, and they just scan them, and then magically they open your door all the time.
Nice.
Yes, my wife has them stored in a special Ziploc bag for all vacations and Marriott trips.
As I said, if you can get me the info, I'm sure my mom and I would be happy to.
I'll never set it up in the next 24 hours, though.
Well, it's not to say that we can't, like.
Figure it out.
You don't have to set it up in the next 24 hours. You just have to have everybody saying, yes, we'll do this in the next 24 hours so that Dawn can cancel her deposit and then set this up at your leisure.
Hey, Mac.
What dates is he?
Hello.
Let me make sure.
20th through the 23rd. I want to come in on the 19th, though, so.
Obviously.
So if you come in on the 19th and 23rd, it gets more expensive.
Well, yeah.
And I want to leave on Monday to the 24th.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
That lets us go to the Sterling Buffet.
I took that day off just because, like, not sure if I want to, like, work right after Vegas. Because the flight coming back to Indy always leaves at 6 and comes in at 1 a.m. So it's always a little tough.
So that does make it, adding those 2 days makes it a little more. So if you did that, that's the 2-bedroom. How do you get on a 2-bedroom? That kind of sucks.
Maybe the 3-bedroom's not available.
No. So it's 3-bedroom if you do the member rate non-refundable. It's $569. If you do the
per room,
yeah. Well, it's $569 for all 3 a night.
Oh, a night.
Mm-hmm.
So that we'd have to do. That gets expensive.
Yeah, it's almost sold out at the non-refundable. That's the prepay, and basically you have 24 hours to cancel. But if I do the standard rates, it's $670 per night.
And that's about $200. If you had 6 people, then that's technically like $200 a person.
$670.
No, I don't know. I'm mathing horribly. 150, 100, 120.
So it's $100 more a night if you do the flexible.
Well, we can deal with it after the show, but
yeah. So they bill the full amount 24 hours of making the reservation. Date changes are allowed up to 14 days before arrival. That's always nice. Okay. It's an option. We'll talk about it.
All right,
Nothing like
that'll work.
Vegas plans, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Other than
But that is
Eve,
a nice place to stay. I don't know how much Planet Hollywood is, but
it's like about the same. So what do we think's coming up next for Eve? Besides, like, war-wise, is any group huffing and puffing at each other? Anyone getting jiggy with it?
I don't know, actually. Like, obviously, there's been the kind of clashes and stuff over in Esoteria and kind of the Faith Abelis-ish area, but I don't know. I think it's kind of more of a low simmer than an actual war, as far as I've been able to see. I have been away, so, you know.
I
If
mean, I
anybody in
see.
Twitch chat
Place
has
your legal sports bets
more
at
recent
BetRivers.com.
information.
Oops, sorry about
I
that.
see us send out fleets every now and then, and but I don't know what they're doing. When it matters, they always say doing space work, and then like they take 2 hours and then they come back. That's about as much as I watch.
Right.
Sadly, war peace is hell, and war is also hell. Because when you're at war, you're like, oh, I can't do anything, and then when peace rolled around, it's like, wait a minute, there's nothing to do. That's what I've discovered after because like when the war was happening, it's like, okay, as they get closer, can't really mine or rat because CCP is making this not as much fun. And now that everybody's gone and we're in Delve, it's like, okay, I can mine on the weekends with the moons, but other than that, like, who mines regular asteroid belts? Crazy people. Ice is crashing through the floor because not many people are using Rorquals or capitals, so you don't need ice products as much. So the prices are terrible for most of the stuff you mine, and it's like, what else? I could do abyssals, I guess, but I hate that kind of gameplay. Incursions you can only do if like they happen to be around you. What else is there to do?
Abyssals.
Because like
CCP loves abyssals.
because the
You can always do
DBS has
abyssals.
made each sister like Delve is like numbers are crashing because like the DBSs are finally moving appropriately. So it's like I don't know what else
Abyssals.
to do in the game. I don't want to do abyssals. I hate things that are timed. You put me at a timed event and start panicking because then I feel like if something fucks up, like that I'm just gonna lose my ship. Or if like, the cat jumps on me or I get distracted or I won't do it fast enough and it's not
That's why you don't use
relaxing
a
or fun.
5 billionist. That's why you don't use a 5 billionist ship. Like,
Doesn't matter.
if it blows up, doesn't matter.
I don't want to lose any of my ships if I can help it. See, that's why I just don't enjoy abyssal stuff. I know other people do, and it's perfectly fine. I just don't like anything timed.
I mean, I don't want to be the one to sort of say it, but like it kind of bears repeating. But like that sounds very much like you're extremely risk adverse.
No, I'm stress averse. I don't really want to be sitting there freaking out constantly.
Too late.
So like, if something's timed, I have like slight OCD where I'm like,
Did you just nope out of the war entirely? No, I'm just wondering. Did you nope out the war entirely? Because that's highly stressful.
I was very stressed out. Everyone can attest that heard me in Theta. I was very stressed out the whole time, but I stayed. But I did not want to. But I was
full year of being max stressed out. Like I think you can cope with just like 5 minutes of abyssal.
But I don't want to.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I don't have to.
I respect your decision, even though CCP doesn't.
I know. So it's like if regular belts had a purpose for being mined, I'd be happy to go do it. But like, why do I need more Kernite? Arcanor and Bistot are in the floor. And there is nothing else in NPC or in nullsec to mine other than moon. The moons aren't available 24/7, so what else do we do? Just put it out there. I don't know what else the CCP expects us to do.
I'm unsure, to be completely honest. Go to high sec and do something like screw around with people in high sec. I don't know.
I don't think anybody's really known.
But then again, so the issue that I have with that particular kind of frame, like sort of aspect of like well, what to do in Eve, is when your kind of decision is to go away from the space that like you have helped build and create and sort of like carve into what you want, like that's basically just saying like the game's dead for me, so I might as well just go to high set. Just saying.
Yeah, kinda.
I unsubscribed my HiSec account because I wasn't using it much. Because I've already been, for most of the war, had been messing around in HiSec, just doing escalation hunting, mission running, a little mining. I did do some stuff up there, but it just doesn't feel the same when you used to do so much more beforehand. It's like eating pixie sticks after you've had cocaine.
What, you mean tedium?
I really can't speak to that. I mean, I've had pixie sticks, and they're a little bit annoying because they're just like powdered sugar. But I mean, I've not had cocaine, so I wouldn't. I
gotta say, like,
do you enjoy?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you enjoy spiced pumpkin lattes, Eric? Because statistically, they've done a survey. It does produce around the same effect as cocaine, apparently.
Can I just interject something very relevant? And
let me just answer. The answer is no. I'm not a spiced pumpkin latte guy. So.
You're not a basic bitch.
I wouldn't consider it basic.
Mappa.
I'm in such a poor country. Like, if only I could get some water. All I have is these spiced pumpkin lattes everywhere.
Wait. First of all, you should look into the issue of Mexico and Coca-Cola before you talk bullshit like that.
Hold on. What's wrong with Mexican Coca-Cola?
I know that.
I
know that Mexico makes a shit ton of Coke.
Is like
Coca-Cola.
in a lot of places,
export,
cola is actually cheaper than plain water and easier to get there. Because a lot of places, it's really hard to get clean drinking water in.
So I'm trying to figure out here, why are we worried about Coca-Cola and Mexican Coca-Cola?
I mean, that's why India Pale Ale became a thing. Like,
again, still asking the question: what's up with Mexican Coca-Cola?
It uses cane sugar, and it's much sweeter.
Yeah, I know that, but we're talking about Coke, like cocaine. So
yeah, but
we're talking. Okay. Let me run.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we were talking about Mexican Coke.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, we have Mexican Coca-Cola here in the other room. I can go get a bottle.
Let me run it through you, Eric. Like,
because it doesn't. It has sugar rather than that high fructose.
Let me run you through.
He's going to run me through.
They were talking about Coke. You said like I've done what you call like the other thing that Dawn was talking about.
Pixie sticks, right?
Pixie sticks, but you haven't done Coke. So I said, have you had spiced pumpkin lattes?
Right.
And you said no.
No, I'm not. Well, I've had them, but I'm not a big spiced pumpkin latte guy.
And I like, for whatever reason, we came across about like the fact that like if you are you a basic bitch then? If you don't really do spiced pumpkin lattes. And I basically said that like spiced pumpkin lattes isn't exactly a basic sort of like product as such.
Okay.
You put
using
it in a
an
way
example.
as you
I put it in a way that,
wouldn't
like,
drink it all day.
yeah. Well, no, I put it in a sense that, like, it's not basic. Water is basic.
Okay.
And then Sothrasil was basically saying, like, well, in Mexico you can get Coke easier than getting clean drinking water,
Yeah,
and that's
so
how we got to Coke
give,
and
Mexican
give
Mexico.
Coke.
America 10 years.
He said Mexican Coke.
Yeah,
Our
'cause
water's
that's what
nice
he
and
means
clean
in
here
Mexico.
in America.
Mhm.
Unless I guess you're in Detroit, right?
Details.
Details.
Or Flint.
Other than the new housing where I live, like all the original housing in this area, they all go through well water. It's so good. I grew up on well water. Now we have city
Ew.
water. Fine, the Ohio River's finest. But yeah, no.
So, anyway, Meppa, if you think that battleships don't have a problem tracking hacks, then maybe you should look again.
Yeah, like, Jesus. Well, I mean, I guess he kind of thinks that, like, in the general guises of, like, what you would normally fit onto a battleship. But if you're fitting, like, the
thing
lowest power
is,
guns with, like, no tank and, like, all tracking enhancers, like,
there's a reason
Maybe.
that when you engage hacks, you first shoot their logi, and it's not the ADC. The reason is that you have a problem tracking the hacks, so you shoot the logi, which don't have the MWD sick bloom bonus that the hacks do, so they are easier to track. Mind blown.
Mind blown like it just had a pumpkin spice latte.
yeah, I mean, you are talking to, an actual active FC.
Okay,
Okay,
now,
scratch
that's not
the
going
active.
too far.
Well, more active than me, I would say that. So,
That's not hard.
no, I know that's not hard. Okay, someone who has active FC experience about that.
Against hacks with battleships, yes.
I mean, we could have Cage come in and actually talk about it instead of like just in there.
Does
keep
Cage
typing.
actually have experience fighting hacks with battleships? Hacks with hacks, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just
Also,
watched-
fighting at 200 plus kilometers in battleships against hacks, like, if you think that hacks are just going to sit at 200k and be like, oh yeah, we'll just let you shoot at me, like,
I don't know,
like,
Cage, because like a lot of FCs were of the opinion that you shouldn't fight hacks in battleships. He probably does.
Doobie-doobie-doo.
in general, in Eve, your maximum engagement range is going to be at the round about 120 to 150 mark, because after that, then you're in a situation where you could just basically be jumped on all the time. So that's the range. Glass bottles as well. Proper.
We are in the push to talk Discord. Someone should send him an invite.
Visual Studio, it says it on the door.
Okay, I'll do it then.
That should hurt your sensibilities, surely.
Let me see. Okay, let's see if I can get Cage.
But it's not in fluid ounces? What the fuck?
Cage, where the fuck are you?
Why don't I have you on here? I haven't talked to you in forever. That's why, probably. Let's do.
And then, I don't. So, just I want to put a question out there to all of you. I guess we can go up from Sothrasil upwards in terms of answering it, like how you guys feel about this. But like, do you feel that CCP is going to go with the old school idea of, old school sort of mentality of, what battleships should be, which is, a platform where you sit in a location, you just dominate the area around you,
All right, I gotta
rather
get up for a
than
little while,
being
guys.
super agile shit. Soth?
The second.
Well, agile, massive battleships.
We have an agile battleship. One.
Well, yeah, a Mac.
Although I have argued before that it's not a battleship, it's an oversized cruiser.
Yeah. You can kind of maybe technically say to some degree a nightmare, but yeah.
And guess which two battleships are actually being used?
Yeah, exactly. And so why is battleships that just stick in one location and try and dominate the surrounding airspace or space a bad idea, or at least not a good idea in the current framework of EVE?
Can someone give rolls to Keish? I'm being pinged.
Hmm.
I mean, you're kind of
Doesn't
used to
bode
that.
well.
So.
Does Keish need particular roles? VIP? What? Like,
Just
what do we
whatever
do?
lets him speak here, I guess.
We can.
I guess. Yeah, I
He
just
said
gave
he
him.
is.
He should. I gave him VIP, so he should be able to jump into on air.
Or you can pull it from public.
Come on down, Keish. And if you can't, let me know. Mm-hmm.
Literally just like yell about something while we're on air.
Oh no, it's staff only. What? Here we go.
No, I moved him.
Okay, I've unmuted him. Hey, Keish. You should be able to speak and all that jazz.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yep. Hey,
Alright,
dude.
Let me just
need to
turn
touch
you
down.
down.
I can just move the mic away from my face too. All right. So Soth, I can't believe you try to put me on blast like that. Have you ever FC'd battleships? I hate you.
Oh my god.
I'm just going to point out that I'm pretty sure I'm the only FC here that has FC'd Alpha Fleet.
That's
No,
not true.
that is
Fuck
absolutely
off.
not true. In fact, there's a Rooks and Kings video of them like coming in and shredding one of my Maelstrom fleets from way back in the day.
Okay, then I'm
Yeah.
the only one who hasn't
I'm like,
lost
so-
one.
I
Yeah.
think you'll find that I have been in many Alpha fleets.
Yeah,
Thank
I was gonna say.
You have been on them. Have you FC'd them though, Mac?
No, of course not.
And for the
That's
record, we didn't completely die. What they did is one of my good friends was on the Rooks Kings fleet, and he essentially just called me out as primary, and then called out my two backups. I mean, this is what was that? 2010? I don't even remember.
It must have been really long ago because
And then of course you always got ball text whenever you need to set on something to bait the capital escalation, right? And what do people normally respond with? Hacks, because they are able to dictate the engagement because they have higher mobility. I don't
Yes,
think
but
you're.
if you just want to sit there and like dominate the battlefield, if it's an objective that isn't going to move somewhere, then what are the hacks going to do? Dance
Yeah.
around you? Yeah, sure, but you want to be there. That's where you need to be, right?
So I absolutely agree, and this is the point I was trying to make earlier, just to summarize it, was right now the only time we really see, except for Nightmares, what they're doing right now, and that's more just people want to have fun in them, is if you want to hold a critical infrastructure, you put a battleship fleet on it, because you can have faxes set there with it, and you don't need to be mobile. So the current majority meta with battleships has been a non-mobile fleet. you may move around a little bit, but the point is not to be mobile. And so
Yeah.
right now, why they don't have a good place, in my opinion, is because instead of trying to rewrite the entire doctrine on how battleships are used, because right now, even if battleships are more mobile, I'm taking a Munin fleet if I need to be zipping and zapping, or I'm taking jackdaws if I need to be harassing. I'm not taking a battleship fleet that's still going to underperform comparatively to hacks. So knowing that that's where my mind is, right? That's why I said you give battleships a benefit to the large weapon platform. Make them apply at a wider range. So like from 60K to 269K, whatever. My point, give them a benefit to without having to nerf the fit or gimp the ship. You can apply those large weapon platforms that give it its, hey, this is a battleship. And you have to come at me. However, oh, you're going to warp in on top of me? I've got a Hector in the way, right? Like things, because right now the only way to stop people from getting on top of you is to essentially self-bubble, which doesn't work with battleships because they're not mobile. But if you made that engagement profile larger, you could have a Hick setting as a screen in front of you, 50, 60K off your fleet, right? You could do these different doctrines that don't exist right now because there's no reason to use a less effective ship to do it. That was my point.
It's also I mean the point that battleships are for those kinds of objectives where you sit and don't really move much. That was always the case. It's just that the objectives have changed, right?
Yeah.
The grids around citadels are so big now that you have to be more mobile.
Or have a larger effective engagement zone.
Yeah. So
I think we're both saying like the same weakness. You're just approaching it from the more mobility. I'm approaching it on the give them a higher application on their weapon platform. Make battleships have a bonus that makes it, hey, I'm in a battleship. I've got big fucking guns and I can use them, right? Versus why do people use tornadoes over maelstroms, right? Because they're more agile, but you still get the large weapon platform. And they have a bonus to those weapon platforms. But no one fits them like to be in an actual role that battleships use because they're essentially glass cannons, right? You catch some battle cruisers, attack battle cruisers out, they're dead. Like I can delete a typhoon fleet, not typhoon, tornado fleet. Yeah, sorry for misspeaking. I can delete a tornado fleet with some jackdaws in a bubble. Like it's they're not hard to like delete. Whereas even if I caught some battleships, I'm gonna have a hard time really cracking a battleship fleet. You know what I mean?
The other thing is, I mean, you said application at long range, but I think one of the weapon systems that are in dire need of a buff are large ACs.
Yeah. So and that's
Right.
I may have been misperceived. What I was meaning is a larger engagement zone, not just longer range. I'm talking about because if you have a long range battleship get caught on top of you and you're dead, right?
Yeah,
But if
your
you
engagement envelope, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said like the 60 to 269 make a larger because like I'm sorry, but a battleship in theory you would have more targeting computers on the damn thing anyway, right? Like if the lore wise, your battleship should be able to track more targets and engage at a wider range of targets. Period. Like if there's any
yeah. Like the always the issue with it is like your ability to dictate range. You kind of have to. It's sort of like coming up with a sort of coming up with a sweet spot between having like if you have the same number of people like fighting against you as that you're like say it's just like a single fleet versus single fleet, right? Same numbers as such.
Yeah.
You have to you have to take people out of DPS or logistics kind of roles in order to provide them to provide screening and that kind of stuff, right? And so that reduces the numbers that you have of your critical like major critical roles in fleet.
And to Mep's point,
what the battleship needs to sort of do is to make up for those numbers.
Yeah, and Mep's point about it, staying a more static fleet comp leaves the current counters still viable. Because if you make battleships more mobile, then you've got to address the rest of the ships that are in the game that counter battleships. If I can move around, it's harder to set up bombing runs on me. You know what I'm saying? Whereas increasing the weapons effectiveness puts more impetus or reason to bring battleships to the fight versus just Munins. Because right now, for the same bang for buck, I can run a Munin fleet and dance around majority of battleship comps and win, unless they're setting on top of a Fortizar, waiting to drop carriers and faxes. You know what I mean? Like in typically, you're only putting battleships out if you have capital escalation.
I mean that's the whole reason why I came up with the whole flak idea, right? Instead of like buffing the engagement range of the weapons we have, the idea was to bring in a new weapon system that could do that. I mean, it's the same thing, really, just that it would generate maybe a bit of excitement again, right? To have shiny new weapon systems. Something new.
How did the Stormbringer? Did the Stormbringer do that?
No, because the Stormbringer makes no sense.
That's my point.
The Stormbringer needs to be done en masse to do that. In which case, like there's another situation there where essentially you're significantly reducing your mainline sort of fleet kind of roles there. Like if you're using Stormbringers and stuff like that for screening purposes and that kind of regard. But like what I'm thinking, like and bear with me for a moment here, but like when you think about like from an RP sort of standpoint, somebody designing a battleship, to work in the battle space of EVE Online, from a like if you're a say a designer in, I'm not thinking designers in like designer in CCP, but like if you were a designer in one of the RP kind of companies that make ships in EVE. Kind of
just say you're a Caldari. You're a Caldari research. You're trying to make that new shit, that new. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You understand the battle space. You understand the situations that it has to perform under, and one of the like most logical and understandable kind of things that I would imagine you would put on that battleship is to always have a utility high that you can put and always be able to put a a defender launcher on. It makes sense. It makes logical sense, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I agree with you, because knowing that your vulnerability, specifically on a battleship, your vulnerability is to bombs because you can't negate them coming at you. Of course, if you can, like RP wise, if you can put them on a tactical destroyer, you absolutely could weld that bitch onto a fucking battleship, right?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes that's fine. It's fine. It makes no sense that like the that defender launcher can't be fit onto a battleship, because like, its purpose seems absolutely perfect for battleships.
Let me raise you this then, because if we're gonna go down that pipe, why can't I put bomb launchers on a battleship or on a larger class vessel in general? Why can't my Ravens be like salvo torpedoes? Oh, and have a bomb while you're at it. I mean, if we're talking about, I mean, that's the whole like thing, right? Is if they figured out how to put it on one ship, they would be able to put it on any ship. So I mean, I get why, like that's kind of like the counter argument to what you're saying. I get that, but I'm totally down with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just a case of like, if you have a whole fleet with defender launchers, I can understand why people who like bombing and bomber FCs would be like, well, that just completely kills my ability to do anything on the battlefield. Like that kills my specialization in EVE, right? But the thing is, there are lots of situations and lots of tactics that you can use to bait out people using, their defender launchers on,
absolutely,
a bait bomb run, for example, where you can actually, come at them again straight away with an actual proper bomb.
Yeah, like, as a person that's been on both sides of that and has ran Jackdaw screen fleets and has ran bomb fleets where we've baited out their defender launchers, like. Yes, that's there is counterplay built into all that right now. And that's why, for two reasons why I don't like the idea of adding a new weapon platform, as cute as Soth is, and as much as like the flat cannons do sound fun, is because the higher likelihood for it to get done wrong and to kind of break any viable cycle of counters in this game is high, right? I mean, every time they push a new weapon system, it typically doesn't execute well. But more importantly, I think if you look at making a thing that already exists more viable and better, and it's like, well, shit, yeah, I'm going to do this on a battleship versus changing the core counterplay, right? Because as soon as you change mobility, as soon as you add a new weapon system, it change or given point defense or what have you, it changes the counterplay. It always has.
So the thing is, I remember a time when CCP didn't try to guide the meta, and that's what they are trying very hard the past like 3 years, right? They are trying to guide the meta into a certain direction, and they are failing miserably at it. I remember a time when CCP would just put something in the game that they thought would be cool, and then they would look at how we would use it.
Yeah.
They
I completely. I gotta grab a delivery. I'll be right back.
Right?
Sort of like how they didn't actually put like specific restrictions on which holes a covert ops cloaking device could be used, but they did give it significant resources required to be able to use that. And obviously, they had like certain holes that had like massive reductions in the the resources required for specific modules, but it meant that you could do ridiculously dumb things with that. Like at one point, someone was able to actually fit a functional covert ops cloaking device on a Titan, for example.
I have returned, and I do appreciate being brought in this because this is something that I very passionately feel would benefit the game. And I don't think anybody has the perfect answer because none of us are the developers, but I definitely think you make it where you solve the problem of battleships just don't have a good place in the game right now because there's things that do their jobs better, or it requires too much additional stuff. Like your point you were making, right? Like you ultimately have to bring in so many auxiliary ships just to make battleships viable that you kind of lose some critical thresholds unless you go with a niche design that doesn't work. And I don't know, for a mainline fleet to work, you do have to have some general purpose to it. If Arendis is still here, I'm waiting because I know he's probably gritting his teeth right now, going, "Cash talking about ships. Oh no."
Nah, I'm actually taking off for a meeting. So,
All right, love you.
Yep. All right.
So angry to leave. That's awesome.
This issue I still see with Eve, and this hasn't changed, is a lack of developers. Right? The
Lack of
amount
developers, or a lack of developers who know the the topic that they're dealing with.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture away from because that's gonna get me on the soapbox. Yeah, and
You can't get on a
very
soapbox on this show. You can't get on a soapbox on any show.
fair.
So,
This show is built on built like 100%.
Then why do none of us bathe? Got him.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's if the how can I put this without sounding like a complete asshole? If it wasn't just about getting as much returns before IP dries up, I think they would do things to make it work still. If that makes sense what I'm saying. But I think that the paycheck's been had, and now it's just eat your steak while you can kind of mindset. Yeah.
I hope it's not that kind of situation, but like, yeah, I'd like to see CCP kind of show that it's not that situation going on.
Would you like a scarf?
no, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. You sure you don't want a scarf? So such a
Is
joke.
he well known about scarves?
I mean, is it?
I feel like I'm missing an in joke. I feel like I'm missing an in joke here right now.
The Doctor Who event.
Oh right, okay. Oh yeah.
Like, I know for a fact it's not an accurate reproduction of the scarf. So yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
If it had been actually Tom Baker's Doctor's scarf, that'd be a different question. But nah.
Or something that was relevant to EVE Online.
Well, I mean, it's a cosmetic. How relevant to EVE Online can it get?
I don't know. All the other events, typically, even though that we know they're built around holidays that don't exist in that part of the universe, if you will, still like was relevant to the different pirate factions that were in the game. So,
Yeah,
I
mean,
yeah,
it was a crossover. Some people had fun with it. Nah.
To me, and I hope I'm wrong, it kind of shows the cards of more where the mindset of the developer is. That's kind of my point. It's
I wouldn't disagree with that comment at all. I think that's a very fair point about CCP's priorities at the minute.
Which is a shame because I mean, you're talking about a game that I know most of us have played, if not for a decade, at least 5 years. I wouldn't be shocked if everyone on this channel hadn't played the game for definitely by now a decade, right?
Oh yeah,
if not longer. So.
Oh yeah, I'm a decade veteran for sure.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I started late 2006, but and that doesn't really. I refrain from like saying, well, I've been playing the game this long because I feel like it gives a false like narrative to experience. But my point is not as much as like we know more about the game. That's not what I'm saying at all. I don't want to be misconstrued. I'm saying we've put that much time commitment into something that we truly enjoy. So it's a little disheartening and like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we all hate to see things that we've spent time in go away, right?
Okay, apparently Eric managed to mute himself at some point, and nobody had noticed. So
yeah,
Chat
nobody
noticed.
knows. Nobody knows.
I thought he was on a. I thought
Well,
you were on a
that's
call
okay.
or something.
I think somebody printed something out on the printer in it, and yeah, yes, 6. What was it? 1/11/2006 is when I started playing.
I mean, 6 people in the channel, probably close to 70 years worth of gameplay time, like time spent around EVE.
And I don't consider myself any sort of EVE scholar or super know everything about EVE. It's just time and dedication, right?
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. I'm not by any means like some big egghead. I blow people up on a spaceship game, right? That's the niche I found in EVE Online. I like outplaying people and blowing them up. That's
there
it.
You go. And that's
but the point is that the game has reached a point where, because of the design choices, because they keep designing to some sort of weird end level game where it's like, oh, then the PvPers can have their fun. Well, if that's your focus, you're killing the simulation, and you're basically doing what other MMOs end up doing. They have pretty much peaked out, and there's like a remnant of between 2 and 5% of the original player base left that are still playing the game, because there's nothing for the daily grind, the daily gameplay, the interesting things, even the competitive stuff, all the stuff that they were the biggest one on the fucking scene. They killed it. They literally fucking killed the ecosystem. And this is not about me on my fucking soapbox. This is about the fact that if you want to just cater to the face-rolling PvP crowd that want cheap ships, easy ships, no daily work, just out there and shoot people in the face like Tarkov and whatever, that's fine. That's your game then. But you will not have 1 million players, because as I just realized, every time someone says grind, every time someone says tedium, they are literally killing the game, because what is more engaging than something that you have to actually put your face in the dirt and actually grind to get? That is what makes a game fun, and I will point to the proof right now. Lost Ark has more than 1 million players actually playing it, and it is classic Eastern grind. It is really hardcore time sink, right? But you do it because you have a goal. And the point is, even though gamers say, I don't like the grind, you love the grind.
I'm playing
You
Lost
don't
Ark
fucking-
literally right now, so
you don't know what you could not. You don't understand what you're saying when you say, I don't want the tedium, I don't want the grind, I don't want the time sink, I don't want the challenge. Yes, you fucking do. You love it. You revel in it. And the fact that CCP has catered to people saying stupid things and just made it more and more quality of life creep, easy mode, dunk dinkle mode. You've killed Eve, and literally you have killed it. It is dying right now. Sure, it will still have a remnant, maybe 10,000 players, maybe 15,000 players, but if you want growth, you need to have challenge either built into the game, or you have to put it in with patches and new tiers and seasonalities and all that bullshit artificial stuff. Eve never needed that because it had it in the ecosystem. They've killed it, and now it's fucking stone dead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and that kind of builds back to like my point about I blow people up. Though it wasn't that I was just like killing people and seeing a killboard flex. It was knowing that when I blew up your ship, when I killed your super, when I killed your Titan, when I blew up your battleship, whatever I was hunting at that moment, right? I took something you worked hard for away.
Exactly.
I took it away. You'll never get it back. You
And
might
that
go
was
get
what
another one.
made it. That made it even better than other PvP games, because in
It made
Eve
the best.
you also made it hurt. You got set back, or you set someone else back, and that was meaningful, and that was fucking king. There was no game out there PvP wise that could compare with Eve. Maybe on a bout level, yeah, sure. On an arena and sports level, sure. But on the pain, nothing compared. When you lost shit in Eve, it really hurt. And the fact that they removed this factor by basically making everything dumb and easy mode, and then they try to do scarcity, but they don't understand how to fucking do it. And someone actually started chiming in on the same thing that I've been saying. If you remove the time sink to build stuff, if you remove the time sink to actually resource gather, then you have removed the time value invested in the stuff that you're blowing up. You're literally devaluing not just the labor of the sheep, but you're completely defanging the wolves. They are a joke now. The remnants now. This is why I kept saying no one really plays Eve the same way that the Imperium does. And it's really sad because there was no competitors. So there was no competitors to the real Empire building, because everyone except for the Empire maybe quite preferred to just get it easy mode. Like, can I get the AFK and come back? Can I get these things back in my belts and my systems? It's all fucking killed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not playing anymore. I've been very passive in playing for the last 3 years, and for the last 5 years, it's been almost like me just face desking, because they've just been undermining it. The value today, real value of an actual Titan, is between 100 and 500 times less than it was when it was actually on its top. It is a joke.
Can I ask a question? What is face desking?
That's similar to face rolling, but when you're just hammering your face in the desk.
So I wanted Caleb to speak himself out there, because I know specifically what it's like when you try and interrupt Caleb when he's, on his monologue, as it were. It's better to basically when he's Calebing. It's better to like let him speak himself out than to try and interrupt him. But as far as I can tell, like, are we muted or are we not?
No, I don't think so. Well, I'm kind of done. I'm just so sad, because I am now playing Lost Ark, and it's been a while since I've played one of those really grindy games. It's like, I really love it, and every time I'm sitting in front of my computer now playing Lost Ark, I'm just reminded about every time someone said tedium and time sink and it's horrible, and please make it easier, CCP, and they did.
Yeah.
And now you're complaining.
So
you got what you asked for.
Yeah, I definitely can't be said to have ever been quoted saying there's tedium, because I mean that's the thing, right? Is I think I agree with you wholeheartedly that I loved how much of a struggle. I mean, shit, I remember purposely killing people in stations back when Nullsec had stations, and reducing their ability to upgrade their clone insurance. So every time you killed them after that, you knew they were losing skill points, right? Now
Exactly.
it doesn't fucking matter. You just eat a skill injector. Now, granted, I made billions upon billions selling skill injectors when they first came out. I made 90-something character skill point farm. But I knew that was the first needle in the arm of a dying game. Like whenever, hey, we're gonna put skill injectors. Hey, we're gonna put a capital ship that can mass suck in roids. That only goes one way. People like grow their swarm of roll cools, get shit tons of money, and everyone gets on the addiction of skill point injectors. And as a injector dealer, I loved it, but I knew it was killing the game. It just kind of went to the extreme now.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I don't know how many of you guys played very old school simulation strategy games like SimCity and Ports of Call and all of those things, right? When you build up the entire thing and you just see it just raking in cash and you can't fucking lose, this is when you turn off the game. This is when it's dead. And this is exactly where Eve is. I remember when I had the first experience of that kind was when I played I think it's a German game, Ports of Call, which is basically about shipping on sea, right? And it got to the point where the ding sound that you heard every time one of your ships got into port, that was no longer a ding. It was just one long ringing tone. And then I just stopped because now it was just noise.
Like I've got tinnitus.
Exactly. And it's like, I feel like that's what happened. We covered this on this show when it was at its peak, right? We joked about it, called it the Delve Time Unit. We pointed out that the productivity level of EVE Online compared to the destruction level have reached idiocracy. It's like, this is not working. I'm not saying that we should always be on a macroeconomic loss, but it should be fucking close, and it should be going back and forth. So maybe we get into some growth period when there's a bit of peace and not that much strain, or people aren't killing each other enough. But the motivator for the real wolves, people like Cage and like the big boys, right? These guys are playing to make someone else hurt. If there is no pain, there is no incentive for them to play. Then all you got are the fucking paper tigers and griefers and teabaggers in high sec. And these people need to go away. This is not the right direction. I'm not saying, okay, yes, I am saying that I know exactly what Eve needs because I'm an arrogant fuck and I've been here since day one. But I'm just saying CCP needs to understand listening to the wrong kind of players is what got us here. Listening to developers that do not actually know EVE Online got us here. The fact that they're looking at data, but they're not looking at the full data set in the right way. They're not doing data analysis. They're basically massaging their own numbers to get them to say what they want them to say.
Yeah.
They're basically
Caleb, I would argue, how can you even look at the data when you fired your economic? I guess your economist quit, or did he get fired? I forget.
Well, the first one quit because he was not really doing that much. He was just doing some number crunching about the overall stuff and state of the game and saying a little bit about macroeconomics, which is useful. The problem is he never really understood the game. So when you complain about losing Dr. E, well, Dr. E was pretty much on the same page as Ratati. They were not that dissimilar. What we lost was CCP Quant. CCP Quant actually knew the game enough to understand how the economic effects got into the game. The other two seem to completely misunderstand that. They mess with things that they have never dealt with. They've never built anything complex. They don't know what an industry platform looks like. It's like, okay, if you have not even played with the UI properly, and if you not even tried to install a Titan build, you should not mess with the numbers. You really shouldn't.
Look, I'll tell you right now, as a person that made one horrible mistake when I tried to touch industry, like on a big boy level, you should know what you can and can't do and stick to it.
Well, because I think the ecosystem team that we got, 3 years ago now, their intention might have been pure to try and fix it. The problem was, and again, on paper, Rattati is not stupid, and as a developer, he's not stupid. But his background is not Eve, so it's like having it's going back to the zero punctuation review way back in the early days of Eve Online, where he said Eve nerds are to nerds what nerds are to normal people. And it's the same with Eve as a game. There is no game out there that compares. Nothing has been made that is even remotely like it, because it is single shot, and that is so unique that I don't think people realize it, even in CCP, how different it is when it's one big shard. It's what I kept saying every time a new MMO came out with some sort of market stuff that could have been interesting. It's like, well, if the market is not one shard, if it's not across all the fucking servers, it's a waste of time. You won't get an organic economy. It will just be another pump and dump, race to the end level, and then die. That's basically what they all do, right? They all go that way. And this is fine if it's an on-rail, but if you're supposed to do PvP and empire building and meaningful fucking content, well, it's a different model. You need to use CCP's model. And they had it right at day one. And they've now destroyed it. They've literally pissed in their own garden.
And that's kind of where I hinted at it a little bit earlier when I was on the glacial island chasing penguins around. Doctor Who's just like an allegory, really, right? Because ultimately, as soon as you sold your baby, right? Let's just call it what it is. You sold your baby. The baby's gone. You might still be raising it, but that baby's no longer yours. Like CCP, sure, still controls EVE Online, but they sold their baby. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Well, they lost the plot on what is the main type of content of their player base. And I know that they were chasing the new player base, and they're still doing it. The whole thing of the NPE, and even though veterans try to explain to them, I know that the GDC meetings and when you're talking to other developers, they tell you that this is the way. Problem is, they are selling oranges and you're selling hamburgers. They're not even in the same category. Could you stop listening to these people? Stop listening to them when they talk about NFTs and crypto and the blockchain and all that bullshit. They're not selling the same product. This is the only game that has persisted and had meaningful content which validates actually writing history books. No one writes history books about any other MMO out there. You can write a lore book about World of Warcraft, maybe, but not history, because what people did in the World of Warcraft universe matters equally. It is equally non-meaningful. Everything done in EVE is meaningful. The fact that they don't understand the uniqueness of their own product and their own player base, and they keep pissing on it, is just tragic. And I am very sad to say that unless I see something really, really drastically change from CCP's side during the next year or so, I am not going to the 20th anniversary. I am not. I am done with EVE. It is dying. The only thing left for me is the really fucking cool people that I met there.
Not even for the whale?
Well, yeah. Then it's my holiday. Then I will accidentally be there the same week, but I'm not going to do anything except maybe drink with you guys, eat whale, and give a big salute to CCP for killing the best game that was ever made.
By the way, Wall Street Journal last week had an article, I forget which day, on NFTs and how easy it is to create them, and how most of them are just absolutely worthless and stupid.
You mean a non-fungible token that can be automatically replicated? Who would have guessed?
Yeah, it's so easy to replicate, and they said so many of them are just bogus, right?
So there was this guy who actually like made a 3D kind of like 3D design, or basically a model, and said like, haha, you can't copy this NFT, etc., etc. Right.
And then someone did in like.
And then someone Yeah, someone did basically copy it in 20 minutes and then like printed it out on a 3D printer and then basically threw it, like filmed themselves throwing it into a dumpster. It's fucking funny.
Well, yeah, I mean there's an article about moms who take their kids' artwork and NFT them, right? And it's like, really?
Well, I mean, it's a get rich scheme, right? Like the the whole technology behind a fungible token that's encrypted and secured by a blockchain transactional code, right? That's the whole premise of a crypto-based finance system, meaning that the coin that you have is not replicatable. It is on a ledger for being an unique identity. Non-fungible tokens is the literal counter to that statement. Anyway,
soapbox.
No, soapbox not work.
The funny thing is the Wall Street Journal pretty much said it's a pyramid scheme. That's all.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, actually, it's the best place for digital money laundering. Like that's actually it's the same. But to be honest, that's what fine art was. Like fine art, the main thing that pushes it is it's a great place for rich people to launder money. So I mean, it has its purpose.
Well, it's not so much the laundering of money when it comes to artwork. It's more the storage of wealth, because you still have to have revenue, and that means that you will be able to track the money. So as a washing your money, I don't think
it's the same thing with real estate.
Stolen art, maybe, but still.
No. Like legitimately, if you put a cash offer, okay, you have $1 billion or even $1 million of illegal money. One of the quickest and simplest ways before NFTs and all that, right, is you go to a cash auction, be it real estate or be it fine art. Fine art's a little bit easier to store and move, right? So, but let's use the real estate example just to take us out of the art world. I buy a property, the foreclosing property, I buy it for cash, right? I hold on to said property. I sell said property, even at a loss. The money I get back from that property sale is clean and legitimate, truly clean and legitimate money.
That is absolutely true. I mean, what you just said is one of the processes. It is.
Yeah. I mean, that is like money laundering 101. Fine art, same concept. I go to an auction. I pay cash. I get said thing. I hold said thing. I sell said thing. The money I get on return is clean and legitimate, truly money. All NFTs do is allow you to do it quicker digitally.
You're forgetting one point about NFTs, though, which makes it even worse. At the same time, every NFT that is created increases the price of the Bitcoin you are basing it on.
Well, you mean the blockchain?
Which is for most things, it's Ethereum, right? So they are just pumping the prices for Ethereum into the sky, which
that's not necessarily true.
Pretty much everyone who's promoting these owns a lot of Ethereum.
Well, so that's one reason that's not necessarily true, is because you can actually, like, a blockchain can be started solely for whatever your NFT run is, right? Now they're going on the EP21 or something like that, the codec that the developer, essentially that's what was adopted by most blockchains to be on the Ethereum network, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you could, and if you didn't accept, I want to say it's someone will correct me, but it's E something 21 or something like that. I forget the codec, right, or whatever you call it. That even like your altcoins, all pretty much anything that lives in the Ethereum ecosphere, right? Like they all the different altcoins, all the stuff. So, yes and no, right? Because you could be in theory using a different blockchain, but it doesn't make sense why you would. So I agree with you that it's
The thing is, if you do that, you kind of need to have some kind of backing, right? You need your coin to be backed by something. Otherwise, only total idiots will actually use it.
Well, I mean, are we talking about the NFTs? Or are we talking about cryptocurrency? Because a means of transaction is a means of transaction. It's always like fiat currency is based off of your trust in your government to like say that dollar is worth that dollar. So I mean, it's always been based on trust. As soon as we went from an actual store of wealth, like as soon as it went to where the physical currency is not worth what it says it's worth, like in reality, it's always been a trust system. If that makes sense. So I mean, do you trust that Bitcoin being traded on the actual market has any more stability than Dogecoin? I mean,
You should be a little. Well, you, sh- you just shouldn't do the whole fiat.
Yeah.
Fiat currency is not based on trust. That is a stupid myth perpetuated by people that don't understand macroeconomics. You can actually read the news right now and see that there is a lot more politically at stake, and there's a lot more backing on actual currencies than nothing. The fiat is always backed by your productivity, your GDP, your military force, your geopolitical position, your trade balance, and all of these things. And of course, the biggest one, your debt. Right. So all of these things are what these things are based on. Money is not created out of nothing. They are in the same way as you copying a song is created out of nothing. It is just digital money, all of it now, right? 99% of all money right now is digital and just on books and budgets, right? So, but it's still, you still have to show that you can actually defend the liability, right? So you can't just go bonkers. You can gear things and you can do weird shenanigans, and you can end up with a bank that actually got liability leverage of what?
Caleb,
100 times, right? But
Caleb, you just said anybody that thinks fiat currency is backed only by trust is an idiot, and then every example you gave how it's not, what are trust-based things.
But it's not trust. It's not trust. There is force. There is law. There is guns behind that stuff. Ask Putin what he thinks about fiat currency right now. Yeah, sorry, we're not allowed to talk about that. But the point is, just go back
really
and read up on history instead, right? The history of oil, what actually drove the first two world wars, how we got off the gold-backed currencies, how that whole thing happened, and why. This is like, there's a really, really good documentary, a very old one that takes you through the basics in the most easy to understand way by a very famous diplomat.
The reason we left like gold standard is because
it makes no sense.
Our debt grew past the available supply.
No, but it makes no sense, because you can't have that limited a source being what backs a global economic.
I'm agreeing with you. That's why we transitioned to fiat currency, which is a trust in the government stability and the ability to produce and be productive, and that the government dictating the value of that currency is able to enforce the value of that currency.
I think the problem with your discussion right now is that you two have a different definition of trust here.
I don't know what you just tried to say, Soth.
You two are agreeing.
Yeah. But okay, so I'll change the word. I'll say a successful fiat currency is one that has a strong relationship between the stability of the government that's issuing it and the supply and demand economy behind that government. And if it's a global economy, same concept, right?
Well, and it's more the fact that all these things about the old mercantilism system and the old gold and silver-backed currencies, it was really just a sort of
did you say
a weak
silver. Oh, silver-backed. I thought you were talking about silverback gorillas now in currency. You know. By the way, it is 3 o'clock,
Eric,
guys, so we got to wrap soon.
Eric, you want to check if you're muted again?
I unmuted myself. When I was talking about the level of trust, that I was muted. That's probably a good thing. So, yeah, it's 3 o'clock. So wrap it up, boys.
Well, thanks for having me come on and like pontificate for the last few minutes.
You're more than welcome.
Anytime you want to jump on, feel free.
Gotcha.
That's right. I love my Roth IRA right now and all the gold in it. I'm loving it. So, yep. So everybody, it's 3:00. There is, I think, is there a meta show this week?
Not that I'm aware of. I think Brisk is away this week.
Brisk is away this
What?
week, so I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I heard that somewhere about like 20 minutes ago.
Can you now end the stream because I have something really exciting I want to talk about, and we can't put that on Twitch. So
You can talk about it right now. It's
No,
okay.
no,
no. We can't put that on Twitch.
Oh, okay, so we want to talk. So it's post show chit chat
All right.
internally.
Well,
All right.
on that note, yeah.
All
Brisk
right.
is
We're out
away.
of
No
here.
match show tonight, but we will see you guys later.
Thank you everybody for spending some time with us. We appreciate it every weekend. We love hanging out here every Saturday afternoon. So everybody have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully everything will end well. All right, folks, we're out of here.
Laters.
Oh.